Hi Aries, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your Spirit Guide message reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps this channel out, and I'm very grateful to each and every one of you, so thank you so much. Now if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before I begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bulls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Spirit Guide message for Aries, Aries. Spirit Guide message for Aries, Aries. Spirit Guide message for Aries, Aries. Angels and Spirit Guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and Spirit Guides. Angels and Spirit Guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and Spirit Guides. Angels and Spirit Guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and Spirit Guides. Angels and Spirit Guides. Fantastic. Think of this as a tree. Here we have the roots, and here we have the branches. Okay. The left-hand side is your inner self, the middle, your heart, your emotional self, the right-hand side, the public arena, the public self, and of course, your rooted energy. So let's see what they have to say. We have the Six of Pentacles, the Magician, and the Ten of Cups. At your root, your inner self, the Three of Pentacles, and the Knight of Wands. Fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So this is you coming through as a warrior during this time. In your heart, we have the Ace of Cups and the Nine of Wands. That's a really intense pairing. I like that. And then the public arena, the Four of Swords, and the Queen of Swords. You're ready for battle. You definitely are. But there are things you have to rest from, things you have to give yourself credit for going through, being through, and letting yourself really express what it is that you want in the here and the now. So let's look at your chakra energy for this time. Aries. Spirit Guide message for Aries, Aries. Spirit Guide message for Aries, Aries. Spirit Guide message for Aries, Aries. Angels and Spirit Guides, show me clearly. We have dreams. This is the third eye chakra. There's a beautiful connection with our dream self, with what it is that we desire. We'll go into that more in just a moment. And then the energy we need to be mindful of. What is the energy that Aries needs to be mindful of? What is the energy that Aries needs to be mindful of? Spirit Guides, please show us. Spirit Guides, show us. What is the energy that Aries needs to be mindful of? Angels and Spirit Guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. The King of Swords. So really positive air sign energy here, negative air sign energy that we need to be mindful of. So let's dive into everything. Let's start off with our chakra energy. This is dreams, of course, the third eye chakra coming in. Divinity is going to be talking to us mainly through our dreams, our daydreams, the insights that we get when we think we're not paying attention, or when we're, just kind of off in our own little world. This is going to be a time where we need to step back, and we can see this in the public arena. If you don't take time out, Spirit is saying you will not conquer the way you want to conquer. You won't move forward the way you want to move forward. There won't be those bursts of creativity that come. So here, step back, let yourself daydream, go for a walk, do something that's really calming for you, take a bath, go for a swim, whatever it is, where you can connect with just yourself and the movement of your body, what it is that needs to be developing within your mind during this time. And it's through that connection with Spirit that you're going to see, especially again in the public arena, ideas start to come. You're going to want to carry around a little notebook with you, or jot them down in notes on your phone, have it pinned to the top so you don't have to scroll through looking for everything. But this is saying, let your creativity shine. Let yourself, embrace these ideas. And this kind of, it's this time of breaking barriers, new ideas, new connections moving forward. We can definitely see that in your inner self. You work really well with others. Just make sure you're getting credit for what it is that you're bringing to the table. Now, the energy to be mindful of is if this time gets boiled down for you, all to numbers and facts, all to, write it out, make a proposal, show it on paper. This is going to be something that's going to be rather difficult, because you're going to need that creative freedom to be able to express, to be able to look at things differently, to be able to, kind of mock up a whole bunch of ways that won't work just to get to the one that will. So this is a time, and it doesn't matter if you're, whatever you do for a living, if you're in sales or if you're a cardiologist, what matters here is that you're giving yourself time to express and understand, and knowing that the people who you work for, people who are kind of judging at this time, it doesn't have to be who we work for. It can be just people in our lives who are like, well, where's the payoff? Like, show me the facts, show me the bounty of this, and I'll give you credit. But there isn't going to be bounty right now. No, there isn't. There's going to be a sense of finding that balance, calling the bounty forward. This is the time where Spirit is saying we're opening up the door. We're creating for the wealth to come in. Now, at our root is the Six of Pentacles. Actually, during this time, we're going to need to make things more balanced. We're tired of one extreme or the other, the giving and the taking. And we're saying, where's the balance? Where's the harmony? Where's the prosperity? Where's the success that I need, that I'm being guided towards? And so this is going to be a time where we're looking at things, and we're looking at kind of like the fat cat mentality, and then we're looking at the beggar mentality, and we can see both of these within our own personage. We can see both of these within society, and we can actually find ourselves being rather annoyed and saying, you know what, there has to be a better way. And we're looking at a better way for living, for discovering, for moving ourselves forward. And then we have the Magician. As above, so below. As you believe it, so it is. And this message through Spirit is very much a statement of, if you stay in the right frame of mind, if you work on your energy, you do the energy work, you do tapping, you do EMDR, you release the toxicity within you, and you claim your bounty, you claim your blessing, you claim what you desire, you start to see things opening. You start to see yourself opening. This isn't the High Priestess, so this magic gets to be seen. It radiates from our roots and says, it's time, look. It's time, go after. It's time, become. And it moves us to the Ten of Cups, and they all live happily ever after. This is looking at what our happiness is. Not what everybody else's happiness is. That's good for them. But this is looking at what our happiness is, where we need to be, what we desire. It's having our adult self mirrored by our child self. There's a sense of this coming together of the child we once were and the person we are today, and the desires that we have and the passion that we have to move forward and to be seen, to be celebrated, and to be understood. Even if the inner child only ever talks to you. This is a time where we can see ourselves breaking the barriers that were put up when we were small, breaking the barriers to happiness that were formed around us when people laughed at our dreams. And now we're starting to see our heart open to our dreams. When someone we loved, a lover, might have said to us, really, seriously, that's what you want? Or you have so much potential and you're wasting it. now's the time where we look at ourselves and say, but this is my happiness, this is my joy, and this is myself, and it gets to shine. Now, in the inner self, we are going to work very well with others, and we're actually going to want to have that kind of ping pong of ideas come forward, because again, highly creative time is what Spirit is showing us. So we're going to want to collaborate, to work with others. We're going to want to, kind of push out our ideas. Now, even if you're the type of person, kind of like me, you don't really like sitting there and having everybody's opinion come when you're creating. It can be a very private time. But then you can step back and say, okay, well, who can I ask to help extrapolate, on this idea, or can help push this idea forward? And then that can be when we start, calling in the other people, and they can start adding to the discoveries that we have made. Again, always make sure that your initial voice isn't lost when other people start coming in, but also make sure that your voice isn't lost, or isn't, is giving credit when everybody else, puts their ideas forward. Because it can be very easy during this time, because we're going to be on to the next project. Like, okay, I got that big idea out. Now let me move on to the next thing that somebody else can very easily take credit. And this isn't saying we have to be rude about it or overly aggressive. What it means is that we just state, oh, that's mine. That's what I brought to the table. Oh my gosh, I can't believe, that worked out this way. It's so cool. I to watch it grow. I'm so excited about it, because we need to be a bit of the warrior during this time in our inner selves. Now, this can be that a lot of our ideas aren't fully formed, and that's okay. We don't need all our ideas to be fully formed. What we need is to have the tenacity and the fire and the spirit to go after what we want, what we need, and where do we desire being in the long run. Because we're going to see things start to open up. We're going to see ourselves start to open up. And it's like, oh, this is it. This is me. And so we can be a little bit hot-headed at times. We're going to need to reel that in. But we are going to be astoundingly excited. And this is going to be a time where we start to see things very differently than we've seen them before. And this is a time where we need to call Spirit in, most definitely, especially when it comes to our hearts aligning with our passion, with our desire, and with what we want. So with the Ace of Cups, and this is God's source Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, coming in. And this is washing out the negative emotions. This is washing out a lot of doubt, a lot of fear. This can make us highly sensitive during this time. With the added, bonus of this creative energy coming forward, this can make it rough emotionally for us. So with the Ace of Cups, it's knowing that a lot of the stagnant things within us, a lot of the hurts, the doubts, the fears, the stagnant things, as was so elegantly put by me before, as Spirit is saying, all the blockages, all the things that were stopping us from being able to express, or having us lose ourselves and thinking, well, I should just conform. I should just be like everybody else. No, if you're not hurting anyone, if you're coming from a place of love and compassion and peace and harmony, let your heart shine. Let yourself shine. Embrace and see where it leads you. Embrace and become. And it leads us to the Nine of Cups. Now, this adds to the sensitivity, not the Nine of Cups, the Nine of Wands. This adds to the sensitivity of the Ace of Wands, because this healing energy is moving us forward. The overflow can definitely bring tears. It can bring a sense of, doubt. This is also, Spirit is saying, a really good time to make sure that you're drinking a lot of water. Make sure that you're keeping yourself nice and hydrated, because that's really going to help you. And if you don't drink a lot of water, think of it as starting to water a plant that hadn't been watered in a really long time. The water is going to go right through you, right, as it goes right through the plant. But as the soil, comes alive, becomes nice and moist, it retains the water better. So if we start drinking water and we think, oh my gosh, this is a terrible idea, just know that like that soil, our insides will start absorbing that water better, and it just means that we really need it. So here, there is the sense of keeping ourselves hydrated, taking care of ourselves, looking in on ourselves, embracing our hearts and what we love, and knowing that our love is really moving us forward in a way that we hadn't anticipated. And then it brings us to the Nine of Wands. We're tired. We're tired of everybody's doubts and everybody's fears and everybody's chaos and everybody's opinion and everybody's way that we should live our lives, and yet nobody listening to us. And so this is a time where we need to say, enough is enough. This is what I want. This is where I want to be. This is how I'm moving forward. It might be wrong in the long run, but that is going to be my lesson to learn. Listen, of course, to those who really love us. to those who have always been there for us. But now's a time to open our heart, our soul, and ourselves to us, and to realize that we're a heck of a lot stronger than we gave ourselves credit for. And as we embrace that strength, we embrace the sense of there is more here than meets the eye. There is more to me than what I realized. And it brings us to the outer world, our external self. And first and foremost, in our external self is saying, rest. Rest, take things in, make sure you're taking time for yourself, that you're not burning the candle at both ends and not able to have what is desired because of that. So the Nine of Swords is saying, step back, look at everything that you've done, look at everything that you've been through, and start to honor yourself. Start to honor your progression forward. Start to honor what you desire. Start to honor what you need, what you love, what you want. And it leads us then, as we have this coming together of the mind, as we have this respect for ourselves and where we're headed and what we want, it brings us to the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is the warrior queen, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But it is the warrior queen of determination, focus, and insight. And remember, always, the swords are the only weapon within the whole entire tarot. Now you might say, well, they were the main weapon of the medieval world. That's not necessarily true. Those who were very wealthy were able to use the sword, were trained in the sword. It was a sign of status. It was a sign of skill. It was a sign of sacrifice. It was a very prestigious sign. But those who were peasants, who greatly outnumbered the aristocracy, they weren't allowed to touch a sword on penalty of death, or at least getting their hands cut off. So here, there is this sense of power and determination. We're not seeing the bow, we're seeing the sword. It is an elite weapon. It is a weapon that takes hours upon hours of practice every day. It is a weapon that people lived and died by, and that changed the course of people's fates. If you were handed a sword, all of a sudden you became nobility. Your family's fate absolutely changed. So the Queen of Swords, crowned with the butterflies, there's a sense of rebirth. There's a sense of what you have put so much time and so much effort into starts coming forward. We start speaking our truth a bit more. Those who don't like it, don't like it. Those who do, they do. And we start to see ourselves moving forward in determination and in focus. We've been through so much, and we have. Hurt and pain and anger and despair. Now we get to embrace what we want, what we love, and what we desire from ourselves. We're the warrior queen. We're ready for battle. And we come to it with logic. We come to it with facts. We come to it saying, this is what I've worked for. This is what I bring to the table. Like it? Awesome. Don't like it? I'm still me. And that's important. So often, and we can feel it within our heart, it's like it would just be a bit easier to change. It would just be easier to just go along with what everybody's saying. But then we would rob ourselves of so much. And that's it. We're done. No longer are we selling ourselves short anymore. Our subconscious message for this time. Let's do our chakras. And our chakra is rebirth. Just like the crown upon the Queen of Swords' head, we have the butterfly coming forward, and we're reborn. Transformation. This is the Earth Star Chakra located 6 inches above our crown. No, below. This is the Earth Star Chakra located 6 inches below our feet. There we go. And this is a sense of us being rooted to change. Understanding, as Plato said, all is flux and nothing stays the same. Plato was born, I believe, 400 years before the birth of Christ. If it was true, 400 years before our common era, then it has weight in its truth today. We are changing. We are not meant to be the same people we were when we were small and the world was large. Now we can see the world is more interconnected and might not seem as large as it was before. But we are reborn in the role we think we should play within the world, the role we want to play within our world. Our dreams have transformed, and so have we. It moves us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, and that's the Queen of Wands. We have to be very mindful of boiling everything down to ambition, because this is us. We're represented by the wands in the minor arcana, by the Emperor in the major arcana. We have to be very mindful of getting in our own way, of thinking things have to transform too quickly, too much. and to just be able to step back and to say, all right, I'm not afraid to roll up my sleeves. I'm not afraid to go after what I want. But I'm not going to make doing and just pushing forward my only goal. It leads us to our subconscious tarot message, which is the Eight of Wands. Once we focus on our passion, our desire, our insight, our skills, things start changing really fast, and they surprise us with how quickly things transform. And we get swept up in it. We get swept up in the change, and we get swept up in the determination of it. All right, Aries, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace our connection with Spirit. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aries.